and to hear from their supporting mentor from the DOST Visiting Expert Program, Dr. Gonzalo A. Serafica is currently an independent consultant to Philippine education and research institutions, including universities, CHED, DOST, and PBED. His work experience involves technical product and engineering process advancement, regulatory affairs, progress on microbial cellulose project, research and development, technology transfer, and intellectual property activities. He is a recipient of several patents on microbial cellulose production for medical applications. He also published several journal articles focusing on development, testing, and commercialization of cellulose and biotechnology products for various applications. He is a PhD graduate in chemical engineering at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in New York. A warm round of applause for Dr. Gonzalo C. Serafica.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be chosen, I must say. Today, I actually wanted to give you a little bit more introduction because I didn't get to give my revised version. So forgive me for having 4 slides to reintroduce myself. And then forgive me for also indulging you with the plan for technology commercialization as a whole in the next 6 slides. And then I'll sum it up in one. So it's a total of 10 slides. And again, it's all about, of course, what does it take for a successful technology commercialization. I hope you'll be able to have a taste of it by the time I'm done talking here. So next slide, please. Let me tell you a story. There's this engineer, actually, I'm not gonna mess it up. It's really me. I started my career as a chemical engineer, doing my doctorate in 1989. That's almost 30 years ago. Then I started a company in the US in 1996, focused on product development of medical products, that being an artificial skin, which was the first stage of the development from 1996 to 2003. And permanent implants, patches for your brain after a tumor resection. That took me about 12 years and about $25 million to develop. And at the end of that, I said, what am I going to do now when we sold the business to Johnson & Johnson and a European company? And that's when I came back here in 2013 as a Balik scientist with Research Director then, USaid now. And I, of course, try to help not only a public institution like UP System, because with this conception at that time, I also became a senior consultant for USaid Strike. And if you read my objective at that point, and as it is now, it's all about technology commercialization and intellectual property. I didn't get to turn the comments in on my slide in the introductions in your file, so I don't know where that came from. But I really wanted to stress that I was an entrepreneur for 17 years before I came back here. And next slide, please. And again, just to give you a flavor, in research, it takes so long to develop products. In my case, I was in bioreactor and fermentation and downstream processing, doing membrane technology for about 6 years. My scientific career as product development for medical products was a total of 17 years. And for the implantable products, that being a dura substitute, we had to tackle a lot of regulatory challenges which we have not even been encountering here. And we had about 7 of those, and 2 CE marks actually in Europe, where we both marketed. A total of, I would say, over 100,000 people have already used my artificial skin wound dressings, and probably in the implantable products. They were FDA approved in 2012. That's when we sold the business to Johnson & Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised if it's over 1,000 implants at this point. We did a clinical trial for about 66 patients at that point. So research conversion to products takes time. I just wanted to stress that, and there's no masking that. Next slide, please. So at the end of my 17 years of being an entrepreneur, we sold 2 businesses. This is after raising more than 40 million in venture capital dollars. We had 7 FDA approved products, 2 CE mark. That's again a very, very big part of product development that we in the Philippines have not encountered as of yet in a lot of our medical grade products. And of course, as I mentioned, both products are marketed in Europe and in the United States. I received 10 US granted patents in the process and had about 20 international patents. Next slide, please. Of course, my 5th car after I sold my business. So, for the young ones out there, may premyo naman. Ito yung pang-limang kotse ko, and I raced for a year after selling my business and did nothing. So, hopefully, I'll be something for director when we're done with commercializing FPRDI. Next slide, please. So, when I came back here, that's already 6 years ago, guys. I came back here as a Balik scientist to help inventors and scientists. I was with UP System, PTBDO, and still is now for 6 years. I've been helping LaSalle on their technology. We just started their biomedical research center. And I'm a consultant for USaid Stride for 6 years. I was with Larry and with Richard. I was PAASA president, in case any PAASA members are in the audience. Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering in 2017. And more important to this audience is that we started the Philippine Innovation Entrepreneurship Core, FEC, training 2 years ago. And I'll describe that in detail because that's the plan for what we're going to do. And I'll start it with Dr. Argangan's group in FPRDI. Next slide, please. So, just to give you my principle on why do we transfer. Kaya tayo nagta-transfer for any of this research, hopefully, or all of them. Production, impact, product development is not incomplete, and, as I mentioned, regulatory as well as to make the eventual research to become sustainable, just like Mirna's, if you get a Roman Ang to adopt it, then the expansion, all of these will happen. That's why we transfer. Next slide, please. How do we transfer? When I gave a talk in 2013, I said, who among you are inventors? I got 100 hands up. Second question, who of you among you want your invention to be utilized, commercialized, or used by more people? All of them. Then I asked them, do you know how? How many of you know how? Nobody in the audience. This is 2013 in Lawak. That's when I started to realize that there is a need. And I told that to USaid after my stint with Fisher. So in my case, I have developed, I don't know what happened to the slide. It's about TRIM. TRIM is technology. These are the key ingredients for a successful transfer. You have to take care of your technology, but also regulatory, also your patent, your manufacturing, your marketing, and finally, money. How much money do you need in order to make all of those previous ones happen? Because if they don't happen, no product, no commercialization, no adoption. So very critical. That's the first thing I'm going to do with FPRDIs. We're going to do a TRIM assessment on the technology. Then, we will conduct customer discoveries. As I was saying, she has ideas. Of course, when I looked at who can we talk to in the wood industry in bamboo, we can talk about material users, furniture makers. You have your floor. Maybe we can go to soundproofing. We can talk to PBIC. We can talk to even some of the designers like Royal Pineda or Bujilayo for some of the potential material designs that they can create out of the technology. So that's part in the US customer discovery standard. They do for ICOR 100 interviews in 6 months. Of course, they give them a little money. But for product, if somebody mentioned about TRLs, definitely a product viability testing is something that will be born out after we've talked to them and they decided to take on and check the product. And hopefully, we can come up with a very specific value proposition for your technology, Dr. Argangan, for adoption, and hopefully for commercialization as well. So next slide. So key questions, again, who are the customers? It can be the users of your product. It can be the producer of the material. I mean, with you, Director Celia, I can already envision some of the materials for textiles. We need masks now. We're under supply. Japan's producing double time. We should be making it here. distributor are the marketers. I don't know those overpricers in Mercury, but definitely if you can get into the direct distribution. I already have Union Galvez Steel who makes roofing. Say if they need bamboo, you might be able to supply it. And of course, being able to be part of a product developer that uses your material can be another customer that's worth talking to. And perhaps one of the most important which we did in UP is to commercialize, is to demonstrate most of the technologies in UP to local and national government. These are the Department of Health, DA, ENER, and even CHED at that point. So these are all the people that I intend to talk to, Dr. Agangan. So I hope your team is going to be ready for it when we get going. Okay? So next slide. This is the trim. Again, when I ask for people, what's your technology, I will trim it. I want it to be focused. I don't want 10 applications, I want 1 or 2. I want your killer apps. We'll start with that. Next, what's the regulatory pathway? Who approves that product? It's medical, FDA. We're trying to do this on a ASEAN-wide now with HSA with Singapore, so we can use one of our diagnostic developments to be used in the whole ASEAN. That's very important because if that happens, your market expands by 5 times. Intellectual property, I think we do have that well in place now. I think Dr. Egay has made sure that, and Attorney Ivy, that's well covered. I'm not talking 1 or 2 machines, I'm talking 100. How much money? My dream before when I came here was if I can create a company or a model, local, that can make 100 million, sales of 100 million or raise money for 100 million, I'm done. I'm going back to America. Awa ng Diyos, 5 taon na ako dito, wala pa. Siguro yung ating PNRI, PGP might reach that, but we haven't paid for our e-beam sterilizer, so we have to price that in as well. But nevertheless, I agree that there's some substantial amount of sales that's being generated. Well and good. But now, there's the DOST 500. That's 2 years in. I think I'm going to put out a challenge out there. If we can do a startup or a spin-off of a DOST company that has a valuation of 500 million, would be a good aim at this point. Or somebody else might be able to get there sooner than that. So, trim, that's, if you have to remember one word about AL, it's trim. Next, last slide. Again, NSF developed an I-Core model for getting their $6 billion a year of research to be commercialized. They developed a program called I-Core, or Innovation Core. We took it in here with DOST, USaid initiative with BSHRT as well as with USaid Stripe. It's actually when people asking what is it, it's actually an ROTC. Who knows what ROTC means? Mga millennials, hindi na nila alam yan. Dahil mga officer ng ROTC natin, alam pa natin yan, sir. Sasaludo tayo. Yeah, it's actually a bootcamp for scientists, but it's very focused on customer discovery interviews, conducting interviews. In the US, the I-Core model interviews 100 in 6 months. And with a single purpose, that's to develop a value proposition. Ano ba yung value proposition nyo? Pag ginamit ko yung barrel ni Dr. Agangan, sasarap yung soy sauce ko better than Kiko Man. How's that for a value proposition? At 1/3 of the price. Locally made. For export to everyone in ASEAN. It can be as simple as that. But the more important is, pagkakakitaan ba yan? May pera ba dyan? Kikita ba tayo? Babalik ba yung kapital? At saka, may maisosoli ba tayo sa mga kapwa nating nagbayad ng research? So definitely, I hope, eventually, by the time this whole exercise is done, we have a lot of spin-offs. Last slide. So, another, last step, guys, tech transfer is like a relay race. Matagal ito. But, focus on the first 100, which you're already doing. We're gonna tackle the second 100. That's the VC and private financing and spin-up. Susunod na, kung maganda yung produkto, the manufacturing and the distribution will follow. Okay? But, huwag niyang problemahin yung buong sales. We'll just focus on one transferring the baton to number 2. Okay? Last slide. This is my counsel to you guys. I know this was meant for the RDI executives. Guys, you want to help your researchers? Drive. Nakita niyo ako, hindi ako sa kotse. Ito yun. What's drive? Deliver. Ano man yung promise ng technology, dapat pakita nyo. Reduce the risk. And definitely go for an innovative solution for real problems. And complete the value proposition, as I mentioned, with our training. And let's sustain the effort. Because this is gonna be a long, drawn fight. But believe me, I'm there for it. I've been here for 6 years. Until we get done, we're gonna do this. Thank you very much.
Give a hand for the team. Three, two, one. The first part of Research and Development Institute internship members and their mentor, Dr. Gonzalo C. Serafica, now on board.